नमो नमस्ते गुरवे महात्मने विमुक्तसंगाय सदुत्तमाय नित्याद्वयानन्दरसस्वरूपिणे भूम्ने सदा पारदयाम्बुधाम्ने नमस्ते नमस्ते विभो विश्वमूर्ते नमस्ते नमस्ते चिदानन्दमूर्ते नमस्ते नमस्ते तपोयोगगम्य नमस्ते नमस्ते श्रुतिज्ञानगम्य स्वाराज्यसाम्राज्यविभूतिरेषा भवत्कृपा श्रीमहिमप्रसादात् प्राप्ता मया श्रीगुरवे महात्मने नमो नमस्तेस्तु पुनर्नमोस्तु नमो नमस्तेस्तु पुनर्नमोस्तु नमो नमस्तेस्तु पुनर्नमोस्तु नमस्तस्मै सदैकस्मै कस्मै चिन्महसे नमः यदेतद्विश्वरूपेण राजते गुरुराजते यदेतद्विश्वरूपेण राजते गुरुराजते Hari Om Tat Sat Jai Guru. Now in the 7th Anuvaka, Shanti Mantra first. Om Sahana Bhavatu
Om Sahana Bhavatu
Sahanau Bhunaktu
Sahanau Bhunaktu
Sahaviryam Karavavahai
Sahaviryam Karavavahai
Tejasvinabadhitamastu
Tejasvinabadhitamastu
Ma vidvishavahai
Ma vidvishavahai
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti
Hari Om Tat Sat Jai. Now in the 7th Anuvaka, there are some important, quite a few important concepts we have discussed. I will just remind them. In the first two lines, it comes Tad Atmanam Swayam Akuruta. That from the Asad, from the unmanifest, the whole manifest universe was born. How did it happen? Atmanam Swayam Akuruta. Brahman created himself. Now here the important point which I mentioned in the last class, that this creating himself, we have to be very attentive to that. It is not that Brahman is some force or personality who is out of some material creating the universe. The universe is not different from Brahman. This is an extremely important concept. We should completely get it internalized, that never should we forget. It should always become a reality for us. That is, in the consciousness, I had given enough of example from sleep, from dream and all that the consciousness is becoming that. So Brahman is becoming the world. It is not that world is something different from world. Here this Swayam Akurata is that kind of a creation where the consciousness is becoming the world. We cannot think of in the absolute level that some causal chain where somebody is creating something else. That is logically also untenable. Now the second concept was Yad Vaitat Sukritam Raso Vaisaha. As he created, now his very nature is Ananda. And when he created the universe, he became the Rasa in the universe. That means whatever Ananda we get from even the physical things, by eating, drinking also, whatever touch of Ananda we are getting, it is Brahman's Ananda, Brahmananda only, but it is getting passed, it is getting processed through the material elements, through the constricted elements, through the constricted mind, constricted intelligence, the impure mind, impure intelligence. So the Ananda is losing its all-pervasive, the transcendental nature. So wherever we are getting the joy, it is the joy of Brahman only, is what the Upanishad is saying. Because our very identity, the joy is a coordinate of it. The joy is in the very identity. But we are not able to realize or feel it because of our own covering created by our ignorance, by our ragadvesha, by our greed. We are covering it up. So only when the mind becomes a little satisfied and peaceful, that joy trickles into our mind and we get the joy of it. We have discussed a lot about this. He is saying that, the Upanishad is saying that if in that Hridaya Akasha, Yadesha Akasha Anando na syat, if there was no Ananda in this Hridaya Akasha, then there was no question of even breathing or living. Why? Because the whole life we are looking for joy, looking for joy. Whatever we are doing, we are looking for joy. And when we realize that the joy is our self-coordinate, we are always flooded with joy, then we won't do anything for getting joy. We won't do anything to get joy from the world. I have given the example of meditation also. Those who are successful in meditation and get the bliss in meditation, they also do not do the vichara because they don't read the Upanishads. When they get the joy, they should think that when did I get the joy? We get the joy when the whole world was forgotten. And this world includes my own body-mind complex, my own body-mind personality also. When everything was forgotten, then we got flooded with bliss. Now after experiencing this, again when we come back, why should we look for joy in the world? We know that the joy is when there is no world in the mind. When the world has got vanished from the mind, then we get flooded with the joy. World means that world includes my personality also. my egoistic identity also. So this is one thing we have to remember very well. Then he says that Yada hi eva isha etasmin adrishye anatmye anirukte anilayane abhayam pratishtham vindate athaso abhayam gato bhavati. It is very important that how one attains the abode of fearlessness. He is saying that this Brahman, which is the substratum of everything, of the entire world, it is adrisha. We cannot, not only adrisha, we cannot perceive it with any of our senses. It is indescribable. We cannot describe it with any concept. It doesn't have any cause or any supportive element, anilayane. If we get established in such a Brahman, that we become fearless. Now, where we stand, the fear is whenever we are going to identify with this kind of Brahman, we will have the fear of death, because that is the point of losing our egoistic small identity. Before that, their merger cannot take place. So I quoted from Mandukya Karika Gaudapadas also, that yoginaha vibhyatishyasmat abhaye bhayadarshinaha. Many of the yogis, they are not able to cross this boundary because they feel that I am going to die. So our clinging to our bodily association and the corresponding joy or whatever we get through our small identity is so much that we are not able to overcome it. But once we get this pratishtha means where everything is stable. Pratishtha in another sense will mean that you become independent. Because whenever, suppose something I am depending on, suppose I am depending on the building or on my business, I am depending on my business, I am depending on my fame or anything. Now, those are not permanent. So, what will be there? There is the fear of losing whatever we are depending on. So, to be fearless, we have to become independent. And when we will become independent, when there is no second at all, and we identify with the pratishtha of the entire universe, we get identified with that. So then there is no question of depending on anything at all. So that is the freedom, that is the independence, that is the pratishtha, the ultimate establishment. That is why we say that in the absolute there cannot be further cause. The entire cause and effect chain is, one is producing the other. But if that goes on ad infinitum, then we will never reach anything absolute at all. So it has to be beyond this causal chain. And this pratishtha, on that the whole universe is appearing to be. And in the universe you find the causal chain. It's part of the universal laws, not in the absolute sense. And he also cautioned that yada hi evaisha etasmin udaram antaram kurute atha tasya bhayam bhavati. If we differentiate even minutely, very, very little, any difference with the Brahman, that means there comes the second. It's no more the transcendental oneness. Immediately we get the fear. So he said that tatveva bhayam vidusho amanvanasya. He said a person can be learned, scholar, he may know the Vedas and Upanishads very well. But if he has not realized this truth, if he has not experienced this oneness, then he will have fear. In Chandogya it came in a different manner. Narada said that, tell me something. He said that Narada knew all. Sanat Kumara asked that, what do you know? Narada says, whatever he said, the whole paragraph, he knew everything, all the Shastras, everything. But he ended with, but mantravidoham asmi, natu atmavid. I know only the mantras. I don't know who am I. How do you know that you don't know who you are? He said that I have heard from the rishis that tarati shokam atmavid. Here it is bhaya, there it is shoka. Tarati shokam atmavid. A person who has known his real identity, he will no more be haunted by grief, any grief. So Narada said, I am still haunted by grief, although I know all the Shastras, but I am affected by grief. So you please tell me how to have the Atmic realization. So this was the important points in the 7th Anuvaka. Then I went over to the 8th. There in the beginning itself, they have introduced again, because they had said that when you identify with the Brahman, you become fearless. Now he is saying that, what is this fear? He says, Bhisha asmad vataha pavate, Bhishodeti suryaha, Bhisha asmad agnishcha indrascha, mrityur dhavati panchamaiti. Now this I had quoted from the Kathopanishad also. There are shlokas that almost similar. Now he said, by the fear of this Brahman, the wind blows, the sun rises, the fire burns, gives heat, and Indra does his duty. Indra is supposed to be the lord of all the natural powers. Generally, I often say that Indra is having the Vajra in his hand. That is his weapon, which means electricity. So now you can easily understand why Indra is so powerful. The whole universe is running on electricity. Even our life, even the elementary particles, everywhere this electricity is important. Our whole perception of the world. If you go just beyond the Indriyas, just below the skin, just within the ear, just behind the retina, the whole signals going to the brain, they are all electrical pulses. There is no vision, no sound, no smell, nothing. The electrical pulses are going from here to the brain, and they are exciting the different points in the brain, different cortices in the brain. And correspondingly we see vision, we hear sound, and so many things. The whole world perception consisting of these 5 perceptions, they are all not there really. It's all electrical pulses exciting the different portions of the brain, creates the whole world. So that is what Indra. So Indra also, then Mrityur Dhavati Panchama. 4 are already there, Mrityu becomes the 5th. Even the death also is performing its duty out of fear of Brahman. So, I raised the point yesterday, the last class, that Why suddenly a fear of Brahman has to be created? Generally, people are afraid of God. And in spirituality, we have to replace that fear by love. Lot of effort, it doesn't go. Devotees still have fear, not only God, fear of some deity. There are 5 temples of them. If they don't visit one, they are afraid of that one goddess or God. So this fear for God has to be replaced as soon as possible. For the devotees, this fear has to go and love has to replace the fear. Now, in Brahman's case also, for a spiritual sadhak, we have to develop the love for Brahman. Now, why they are saying fear? That in Brahman's fear, the whole nature is doing its functioning, everything is going on. We should not miss the point here. You are taking refuge in whom? By whose fear the whole universe is running. So when you are sitting on the lap of your father, by whose fear everybody is doing everything, then will you have fear of anybody or any other power? You will be fearless. So it is to say that the whole discipline of the world, that is one point. Another is that the whole world is running with a certain order. They are saying fear, but it is the discipline that is there in the whole universe. Nobody can flout that discipline. As human beings, we are indisciplined, and as we are flouting, we are reaping the corresponding repercussions also. We are not aware, we are not conscious, we are not attentive about the discipline we should follow to be in harmony with nature. But the other thing is very important, that you are taking refuge in the lap of Brahman. You are identifying with Brahman, the ultimate truth, in whose fear everything in nature is running. So naturally you will be fearless. That is the point. Then comes, it is the last portion of the Brahmananda Valli. Right from the beginning we have been discussing that how we are slowly moving towards Ananda, that Brahmananda. Now all that has been discussed. Now here they are wanting us to think about, it is called Sa Esha Anandasya Mimamsa Bhavati. Mimamsa means deliberation, better will be evaluation. That is, let us have an evaluation of Brahmananda. Before completing Brahmananda Valli, he is giving an evaluation of what is this Brahmananda. Comparing with various kinds of Ananda. Everything, I will not go in detail, they are all similar, but the fundamental point I will discuss. He says that let us start with the human joy, Manushya Ananda. What is that? Yuva syat, sadhu yuva, adhyayakaha, ashishtaha, dridhishtaha or dradishtaha, both are there, part of it, balishtaha. Tasyayam prithvi sarva vittasya purna syat, sa eko manusha anandaha. The one unit of the highest joy in human life, Manusha Ananda, means human joy. How they are describing? Yuva syat. Consider a young person. Not only young, sadhu yuva. He is honest, sincere. Adhyayakaha. He is very knowledgeable. He knows everything. Ashishtaha. This ashishtaha has different meanings. You can say it is the Shishtha has come from Shasana, discipline. A very disciplined person, you can say. Also, you can say a very powerful personality. That means our Shastras are telling us that how a personality becomes powerful. If you follow the nature's laws, if you follow the nature's disciplines, you will find that you will not be fearful at all, you will not worry about anything that is happening. So you will have a very strong personality. This strong personality doesn't come from money, fame and all. You will find an extremely rich person, but extremely fearful about losing money also. This strength comes from discipline. And what is that discipline? Being in harmony with nature. There are more to it, it will come. Then Dridhishtha or Dridhishtha, both are okay. That is Dridhata, it has come from Dridhata. Dridhata, this is again, we have to understand these terms very well. They have used both Dridhishtha, Balishtaha. Dridhishtha, Balishtaha. This Bala, one is referring to Bala, another is referring to Dridhata. Now, who will be Dridha? Who will be firm, clear in his vichara, clear in his decision? Such a person, where from will all this clarity and strength come? Is it not from a clear understanding, from the knowledge of things, finally it is from desirelessness also. Only a desireless person will be extremely firm in his decisions, because he doesn't fear anything at all. Bhoge roga bhayam, kulechyuti bhayam. That this you know, everything is bhayam. Everywhere there is fear. Vairāgyam eva abhayam. Only in Vairāgya lies abhaya. Now it is not that there is a fear in riches, so we don't want riches. It is not so. There is fear in goodness or reputation, so we don't want reputation. It is not so. We should not cling to any of the things. Suppose you have riches, there is no problem. But if you cling to riches, you become subservient to your riches. You become dependent on your riches fully. Your peace of mind depends on the riches. Then you have become dasa, you have become servant to money. That will take away your firmness, your characteral quality, strength, everything. Bala will generally mean sharirika bala, the physical strength. Even Dridhishtha also they have translated as well built. I would like to go much deeper about it, that it is not the physical well built that the Upanishads are talking about. Balishtaha also, we often come across the term yoga balena chaiva, yoga bala. See, the real strength comes from yoga. So it can be the physical bala, or it can be the mental strength, or it can be further the spiritual strength. Not only that, he says that the young person who is honest, who is knowledgeable, who is having all these qualities. Tasyayam prithivi sarva vittasya purna syat. He is the owner of the whole earth as his kingdom, full of all kinds of riches. Now, can you imagine any greater joy at the level of human beings? Whatever a person can desire in human life, everything is spoken of. He says that is the unit of Manusha Ananda. Te ye shatam Manusha Anandaha sa eko Manushya Gandharvanam Anandaha. Like this, if you multiply it by 100, what is this? The highest Manusha Ananda. If you multiply it by 100, then you get one Manusha Gandharva Ananda. Now this Gandharva, generally they are musicians, heavenly musicians and all. But we can interpret it in both ways. You can think of the heaven and the different lokas, the Pitri Loka, Gandharva Loka, Deva Gandharva Loka, Karma Loka, all these things. Or one can, then it becomes not experiential for us. But if we analyze it in the experiential manner, then we can try to find out how it is meaningful to us also. Suppose our senses, bodily senses, they are giving us some joy. Let us take Gandharva is referring to the musicians. Now, if you see the musicians, there will be many kinds, but two I would like to differentiate. One, who are producing very good music, very good to hear, all in tune, everything, not like our devotees chanting in cacophony. Everybody is, that is the Gandharva. But it is all at the level of the physical senses. If you go to the higher level of musicians, you will find that it is not so much in the physical senses level. It is coming from some other level within, from the mental or further deeper level. So, these two levels are entirely different. One is at the physical level, another it has a, whatever you may say, that Deva Gandharva level is what they have said in the other level. So the joy, today I did so many things to see that the voice does not cause problem. What to do? Cannot do anything. We are not able to detect what is causing the problem. So medicine for the throat, whether it is acid reflux, so medicine for the acidity, then hot water gargle, salt water gargle. Then he is saying, Sa eko Manushya Gandharvanam Anandaha. That is, in the sensory level, whatever music or whatever you are producing, they are getting a joy. Like that, the 100 Manusha Anandaha consists of that one Manushya Gandharva Anandaha. Saying that, he says, Shrotriyasya cha akamahatasya. This word will go repeatedly, every sentence end. Shrotriyasya cha akamahatasya. Normally, Shrotriya means one who has, in many cases you will find, learned in the Shastras, Vedic Shastras, Vedas, Upanishads. That is Shruti, from the Shruti, Shrotriya. And akamahata means who is not haunted or killed by desires. That means a person who is knowing it can be the Shastras he knows, he learned in the Shastras, or it can be, better is, he knows the essence of the Shastras. That means who has realized the truth of the Shastras. The Shastras speak about the truth that they have realized. We generally interpret the Shrotriya word as this, everywhere we have done. Now there the Shrotriya means he has to become akamahata. Because as long as, if you know that your identity is the transcendental oneness, that identity is the Brahman, aham brahmasmi or so, then there cannot be any desire. He will desire what? He has become everything. There cannot be. So he will be akamahata. Ultimately, the akamahata means he is knowing the Brahman. So that way Shrotriya means one who knows the Brahman. Now, in each case it is ending with Shrotriyasya cha akamahatasya. That means in that Manushya Gandharva level also, if a person knows the truth and becomes free of desires, then that Ananda will be the Supreme Ananda. So he is saying that let it be a Manushya, let it be a Gandharva, Manushya Gandharva, let it be a Deva Gandharva, let it be Pitrs, let it be Ajanaja, so many things will come. Everywhere it ends with Shrotriyasya akamahatasya. So whatever be the birth of the person or whatever loka he is residing in, or in the other words, as human being, whatever level he has gone, he may have many mystical powers, he may have many yogic powers corresponding to the lokas they have referred to. But the joy will be the maximum when he is desireless and he has identified with the truth. Naturally, we have already discussed earlier that for a person who has realized his real identity, he has all his kamas fulfilled together. The other day also I explained again. It is in the beginning. His all the desires get fulfilled together. How can it happen together? Normal desires will be fulfilled one by one. Together, because he realized the truth that the desires are redundant. Not only that, the desires cannot be there when there is no duality. That he is there in everything. So how can there be any desire left? So, he may talk about different lokas, different manushas, etc. But the peak of the joy always lies with even going to the Brahma's level also, the ultimate Ananda also. That one, it ends with sa eko brahmana anandaha shrotriyasya cha akamahatasya. Even the Brahman's Ananda, the Brahmananda also, it will be the person who is Shrotriya, who has realized his real identity and who is free of desires. So what do you say by that? Should we try to become this Gandharva, that Gandharva, or Prajapati, or Brahma, or Brihaspati? All these are there. Brihaspati, or Indra, or Varuna, anything. Or we will try to become Shrotriya and Akamahata. And two are related. If you become Akamahata, automatically you will have it. But you may say that, oh, then this table has no desires at all. Will it become will it have the joy of that? You understand? Akamahata means no desire. All still things, the mountains and all, they are all akamahata. But they are not Shrotriya. So both have to be there. Shrotriyasya akamahatasya. That one has to know the truth, and that one person can be very jada also, inert like. He may not have desires, but unless he has the identity, the real identity he has realized, he will not have this joy. So here, sa eko Manushya Gandharvanam Anandaha Shrotriyasya Chakamahatasya te ye shatam Manushya Gandharvanam Anandaha sa eko Deva Gandharvanam Anandaha. 100 Manushya Gandharvas Ananda, that is whatever is the Manushya Gandharvas Ananda, multiply it by 100 times, then it becomes one unit of Deva Gandharva Ananda. Why? Because Deva Gandharva is on the higher plane. It is not just the physical senses. Their music is on a heavenly plane. So their Ananda is much more. As I am saying, even in the physical level also, the great musicians, they are producing the music with their senses, but the music is coming from somewhere else and they are getting the joy of that. So it need not be that we have to go to the Deva Loka or Deva Gandharva Loka to understand it. Shrotriyasya Chakamahatasya. Even for them also, there lies the ultimate. Te ye shatam Deva Gandharvanam Anandaha sa ekaha Pitrinam Chiraloka Lokanam Anandaha. If you multiply 100 times this Deva Gandharva's Ananda, then that makes one Ananda, one unit of Ananda for the Pitriloka, which is eternal, Chiraloka, which is the forefathers who have gone to the eternal world, which will always be there. But there also, Shrotriyasya Chakamahatasya. Unless they have identified with the real, with the Brahman, or they have become free of desires, they will not have the Supreme there. Teje shatam pitrinam chiraloka lokanam anandaha sa eka ajanajanam devanam anandaha. Another kind of devas they are making. Ajanajanam. Ajana means they are those who have born in the heaven. That means normally they were born on the earth, and because of their sukrita they are going to the heaven. These people are born in the heaven itself. Again, te ye shatam ajana janam devanam anandaha sa ekaha karma devanam anandaha. 100 times that ajana janam anandaha is karma devanam. Karma devanam means those who have done all the Vedic performances and all, and they have gone to that loka. I don't know about these gradations. The first two, it strikes me. The others I do not know. So they are all speaking about, because they have been spoken of in the Vedas. What I can understand, and it is sufficient for me, that in the Vedas there are all these rewards are talked about. If you do this Agnihotra and all, you will have this heaven. If you do this, that, then you will have the other heaven. So many kinds of heavens and all. So naturally, people given to Vedic studies, in their concept, in their imagination, they will have the imagination of all these lokas, and they will prefer to go here or there or so. Some after death, some before death also. They are all enticed by the joy. As Nachiketa is referring to the heaven, where there is no trishna, thirst, and no kshutha, that is, no thirst or no hunger. So it's a great heaven in Kathopanishad. So naturally we will think that the truth of it, how can it be a great joy where there is no hunger, no thirst? The human life, two of the greatest joy is drinking and eating. So if you don't have thirst, you will not even enjoy water. Forget about other drinks. So is it really a good place, that heaven? If you don't have hunger, you will not enjoy any food given to you. Let it be all kinds of great kingly food and all. You will not enjoy it. So the Vedas are putting these things, but because people do not do the vichara, they, following the Vedas, the rewards and all, they perform the yagas and yajnas, and through the yagas and yajnas, they make the people disciplined. Because any Vaidika karma, there will be a lot of discipline involved. So in fact, what I understand, it is to bridle the society and put them on a discipline course. Because otherwise people do all nonsense things. Everything they will do wrong. So it is a nice way of enticing them and put them on a track, on a discipline track. And later on let them think and go forward. Te ye shatam karma devanam anandaha sa eko devanam anandaha. Karma devanam 100 times is deva. Shrotriyasya cha kamahatasya. So they say that even in the devas also, the joy is maximum when you become Shrotriya and akamahata. Te ye shatam devanam anandaha sa eka indriyasya anandaha. Indra is the indrasya anandaha. Indra is the supreme lord of the devas. Deva, you can say all the natural powers. Agni, Varuna, water, fire, wind. So 100 times the devas' joy will be Indra's. But there also, Shrotriyasya Chakamahatasya. Te ye shatam indrasya anandaha sa eko Brihaspati's anandaha. 100 times Indra's joy is one Brihaspati's ananda. Shrotriyasya Chakamahatasya. All these devas also will have to do the spiritual sadhana to get the ultimate bliss or joy of Brahman. In Kena Upanishad, it is beautifully showed that all the devas, after they defeated the asuras, they were all boasting that who is responsible for winning the Amrita? I mean, for defeating the asuras. As it happens everywhere, generally when we do a teamwork, everybody will try to take all the credit to them. And whatever is wrong, they will try to put the blame on others. Devas also are given to all these habits. So, they were boasting about their power, that I am the most powerful, I am the most powerful. So suddenly, a peculiar being appeared before them. So, not Indra, first Agni or somebody. Agni challenged it that, who are you? He said that I am such and such. That being asked Agni that, who are you? Agni said, you don't know me? I am fire, I can burn everything. What else you can do? I can burn this in a matter of moment. Okay, here is a blade of straw. You please burn it. Agni tried, finally sweated and went away, failed. Then came wind. Who are you? I am wind, I can blow the buildings and palaces. Well, you please blow off this straw, blade of straw. The wind tried this way, that way, nothing happened. He went back. Like that, one after another. This, I am remembering that last time we went to Delhi, we went to see the Akshardham. There in the evening, almost in the night, there is a show, a beautiful show in the atmospheric, open auditorium with light, laser and all. They created the show, where they depicted this story. Beautifully they showed that how each, the Agni, wind and water and all, they're coming and they're showing their power. But nothing happens to, even to the small straw like that. So all the Devas, they failed and they came back. And Indra is the lord of them all. So they reported to Indra, then Indra came forward. That who is that? Let me see. When Indra came forward, that being disappeared. In that place, a beautiful Devi appeared. She is called Haimavati. Haimavati is generally Parvati, we refer to the Himalaya. Or she is the knowledge. She is regarded as the knowledge Devi. So Haimavati appeared, and to him, when she appeared before Indra, Indra asked that who was that being that all the Devas failed. Then Haimavati explained to Indra, that was actually Brahman himself. He only wanted to teach that the real power is of Brahman. Neither the Agni, nor the Pavana, nor the water, nor the fire. None can do anything if they are not supported by the consciousness, by Brahman. So the real power is Brahman. So you could not do anything to the Brahman at all. He is the supreme power in this. So it's very much related to what we are studying here now. It is in Kena Upanishad. I think I have spoken about it. It is there in YouTube. स एको बृहस्पतेरानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य चाकामहतस्य ते ये शतं बृहस्पतेरानन्दाः स एकः प्रजापतेरानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य चाकामहतस्य ते ये शतं प्रजापतेरानन्दाः स एको ब्रह्मणः आनन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य चाकामहतस्य. So he has gone up to the Brahman, that up to the Hiranyagarbha, Brahmanaha Anandaha. It is the Hiranyagarbha or Brahma, the creator. So, but everywhere they have mentioned that one has to become Shrotriya and Akamahata. That means one has to identify, one has to know his real identity, and corresponding to that he will become free of desires also. Then comes the last portion of the Ashtama Anuvaka. Sa yashcha yam purushe yashcha asau aditye sa ekaha. He says that who is there in this Purusha? Purusha means our Purusha, our real, our identity. Pureshete Purusha, that means the conscious element in us. That which is there in the Purusha, in the individual. Yashcha asau va aditye. Yashcha asau aditye. That same sa ekaha, that same Purusha is there in the Aditya, the sun. Actually, it is not the sun in the sun Deva, which is the center of the entire universe. What he means to say is that everywhere this Purusha, there is no difference. I being small, we are always having the feeling that I am a puny human being. So, what can I do in this huge world? But he is repeatedly saying that the Purusha in you, your real identity, is no way different from the Brahman, the ultimate Purusha, by whose fear the whole universe is running. You are that, so should we have any fear or inferiority or superiority? Saya evam vid asmat lokat pretya. One who knows like this, that this Purusha is the same as in me, as in the Aditya. So he asmat lokat pretya. Generally they will translate it as leaving this world. That means people will think that after death. But pretya word means transcendental also. That asmat lokat pretya means one who transcends this worldliness. The reality of the gross world. Our problem is the gross world is real before us. We are even not careful about what we really are. Our consciousness, nobody thinks. The gross world is so vivid, so real before us, that is causing the problem. That is why we become small. That is why we are haunted by fear. That is why we are having ragadvesha. All the problems are from there. So, asmat lokat pretya means one who transcends this worldliness. Etam annamayam atmanam upasankramati. Now here I will read all. It is a series. Etam annamayam atmanam upasankramati. Etam pranamayam atmanam upasankramati. Etam manomayam atmanam upasankramati. Etam vijnanamayam atmanam upasankramati. Etam anandamayam atmanam upasankramati. Tadapyesha shloko bhavati. Iti ashtamo Anuvaka. This upasankramati is coming again and again. Upa means coming closer. Sankramati means pervades. That means coming close to it, coming near to it, it pervades. One who knows this, that this Purusha is everywhere, what happens to him? Etam annamayam atmanam upasankramati. That whatever, you don't forget whatever we have studied. We have studied our progression, our journey from the Annamaya Purusha to the Anandamaya Purusha. We have already done it with the pictures and all. So, what is that Purusha? One who knows this, he closely knows what is this Annamaya Purusha and spreads everywhere. That is not just the gross body, but the gross body everywhere, the whole universal level of Annamaya Purusha, he comes to know. Upasankramati, he pervades there. After that, what happens? Etam pranamayam atmanam upasankramati. Similarly, the vital energy, the vital force, it is not only pulsating in the body, in individual bodies separately. One who comes to know the Purusha, he knows that the prana is an universal vital energy. Prana, universal prana. And it is being manifest through the different bodies manifesting the prana. Etam manomayam atmanam upasankramati. Mind, he passes over to the universal mind, pervades the universal mind. Etam vijnanamayam atmanam upasankramati. He pervades the universal knowledge. And finally, Ananda, the Brahmananda. In the Yoga Sutras also these are there in another, a little differently. There are many examples how this happens, that in Shukadeva's Kahini, the story, we have told it several times, that Shukadeva was the son of Vyasa, but he was born so pure, he did not have any impurity. There is all the other stories about it also, before Bhagavatam. Now this Shukadeva, his father Vyasadeva was teaching him the Shastras. But Vyasadeva very soon understood that because I am his father, he is not having enough respect for me. Whatever I am saying, he says that he knows. So he sent Shukadeva to Janaka Raja. That okay, you go to Janaka Raja and ask your questions there. Naturally, Shukadeva was a little surprised initially. What do I have to learn from a king who is sitting in luxurious palace, busy with running the kingdom, and I have to go to him? He went. When he went, and Janaka Raja was told, he asked the palace people to keep Shukadeva waiting for him outside the palace for 7 days. When 7 days passed, he asked them to bring him to the Antapura, where the ladies stay. All the queens and other ladies are there. Let him stay with them for 7 days. If he passes that, then you bring to me. So finally Shukadeva came to Janaka Raja. But again the same trouble, as Janaka was telling him about the Adhyatmic truth and sadhana, Shukadeva was feeling that, what? It's all I know, and I have heard from my father also, he is telling the same thing. Janaka Raja understood, but it so happened that right at that moment, the Pratihari, from the palace, somebody came and reported that Maharaj, the whole palace is on fire. Please run away. The moment he came and reported, Janaka Raja was sitting there. Shukadeva had come those days with a small stick, and behind that stick there will be one set of dress or so, a potla. The one, what do you call in English? One small bunch of, bunch of clothes also. With that he had come. So while speaking to Janaka Raja, he had kept that was his property, kept it by his side. And in his mind he was thinking all along that, what is he saying? He is living in luxury and talking about Vairāgya and all that. It has no meaning at all. The moment the palace was on fire, Janaka Raja stayed there calmly, but Shukadeva lifted his stick and started running. So Janaka Raja pulled from behind. That, what are you doing? Only a set of dress you have, and with that you are running. And you are thinking that you know the truth, you know everything, you have all the Vairāgya. So it is there in Brihadaranyaka, I think. The statement, Janaka Raja's, Mithilayam pradiptayam name dashyati kinchana. Something like that, I may be a little wrong. Mithilayam pradiptayam name kinchita pradahyate. Kinchita pradahyate. Even if the whole Mithila gets burned, nothing happens to me. For me, nothing gets burnt at all. Where are you running? So Shukadeva got his lesson of life, that whatever he was thinking is love. Generally for the sadhakas, this kind of shock treatment is very effective. some sort of a shock treatment is necessary. Otherwise their real bichara will not rise. So then Janak Raja told that yes, you already know, and whatever your father said, that is also the same thing. What I am saying also is the same, nothing new we can say. It is the same truth everybody is saying. But to understand it, to realize it, you now go to the forest and do tapasya for some, I don't remember now, 12 years or 100 years something. For Shukadeva, a pure soul like that. Why did I say this? The Kena Upanishad story, and then finally Now it is one thing to know theoretically, and it is altogether different to experience that expansion, to have that spread, that pervasion. Then comes the ninth. Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha anandam brahmano vidvan na bibheti kutaschaneti. Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha. Wherefrom all the words come back, not being attained, but not being able to touch. Where all the concepts of the mind, they come back, not being able to reach. That Ananda, Brahman in the form of Ananda, Brahman itself is the Ananda. Knowing that, na bibheti kutaschana, under no circumstance a person will be having any fear. Words together with thoughts return from Brahman, unable to reach it. He who knows the bliss of Brahman is not afraid of anything or anyone, for he sees Brahman everywhere. Etam havava natapati kimaham sadhuna karavam kimaham papam akaravam iti. He will never have any remorse or any pricking or any repentance that why did I not do some good works, or even why did I do something papa or some bad things. That kind of repentance also will not be there. It's a great statement because one has to go beyond papa punya, good, bad, everything. Saya evam vidvan ete atmanam sprinute ubhe hi evaisha ete atmanam sprinute. He will be fulfilled. He will get fulfilled. He will be liberating his Atma, whether it is Papa or Punya, both will be inspiring his Atma in the same manner. Ya evam Veda, one who knows like this. Iti Upanishad, this is the secret knowledge. This is the supreme secret of knowledge. It transcends the good and bad division also. This ninth I will again take up. But after that will be the Bhrigu Valli. So next day I will take up the ninth again and go over to the Bhrigu Valli. Om Sahana Bhavatu.
Om Sahana Bhavatu.
Sahano Bhunaktu.
Sahano Bhunaktu.
सह वीर्यं करवावहै
सह वीर्यं करवावहै
तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु
तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु
मा विद्विषावहै
मा विद्विषावहै
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
हरि ओम तत्सत् जय।